These two teams are about to compete. Onic from Indonesia and of course Geekay Esports both already have their playoff slots secured for games of the future. But what they're fighting for here today is whether or not they can skip the round of 16 first round and go ahead straight into the second round. Renmar and Wolf, we've been here the whole time and we'll be here to close out this series again between these two who did get sweep wins in their previous matches, but if you ask us which of these two teams looked more dominating and impressive, it was definitely Onic.
Not gonna take anything away from Geekay Esports. When we saw them get the 2-0, there were standout performances and there were really good plays, but Onic, you're right, they were just so dominant and everybody's playing so well. You gotta start with Keyboy and Sons. Was actually there were a lot of criticisms for Keyboy Lippy as well as Sons in their MSC performance, but yesterday when we saw them, they were actually playing so well that the trio is looking good. But then of course, Kelra playing the aggressive gold laners. You have Kyrie, ever so reliable assassins, and of course, Coach Yeb for some reason is sitting down. Hopefully not the one to actually play this
Remind me, I know Yeb played, right? What position was he?
So back then, it was mid lane, but you know when during that time the mid laners were the
Carries, right?
Carries. Yes.
Yeah.
I think he technically is the technically is the jungler, I feel like, or maybe just mid lane mage, you know.
Well, let's see. I don't think it's gonna be Coach Jeb playing today. I'm pretty sure he was just sitting in the seat, knowing that Sans probably just went off to the bathroom or something, or is getting ready. But here for GK, it's Aizen, Quanok, Shen, Isito, and Yaga. And yes, if you missed it yesterday, me and Wolf were losing our minds over Quanok and his Eudora. Definitely something that Onic need to watch out for, because the man was sharp with it. He was flickering forward and getting all the right targets all the time. And y'all, don't worry, we haven't started the game yet. You're just seeing the players, of course, testing out, making sure everything's smooth before we head into the draft. Remember to recap here in Group D, and actually pretty much on our stream, you've seen the majority of sweeps, specifically Onic, not the sweep, Pro Esports, very dominant with it. Get to call back to it, double Paquito games for Kelra, double Loopy Barrett's games. You know, for GK, had a lot more variety, played a completely different set of heroes in each game. I think now for GK, they have to try and double down and looking at what Onic do in right now. Foot Esports we mentioned are most likely going to be going up against Team Spirit in the round of 16. Yanfeng Yagai will go up against Team Vamos. And here's the juicy part. Number 2 of Group D. If ever, somehow, Onic end up losing the series to GK, they will be going up against number 3 of Group C, which is none other than Aurora Gaming. So, gotta watch out for that. We might end up seeing the rematch right away.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. But as it looks like right now, if we are gonna follow, of course, the expected result of many, which is Onic are gonna be taking number 1 in this group, their most likely opponents is gonna be either Team Vamos or Jianfeng Yao Guai. It's gonna be a while actually until we see some heavyweight rematches across the board. Most likely not until the semifinals.
That's right. And if I remember correctly, this is it will be is it a double elimination bracket in the playoffs?
No, it's all single elims, but there's a third place match, and the grand finals is only best of 5. Semifinals is best of 3.
That's right. So it will be quick eliminations if in case. Now I'm trying to recall what happened in the first the first time we saw the games of the future. Aurora Gaming PH and Aurora Gaming Turkey almost met at the grand finals, but Aurora Gaming PH got taken out by Onic Indonesia, and then I believe it was it was Team Spirit that Aurora Gaming Turkey faced. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that there will be a lot of good reunions. Like it could be Onic versus Team Spirit eventually, or Onic versus Aurora, which will be the third time that we'll see Aurora Gaming go up against Onic Indonesia in later, fourth time in fact, if you count. If we count MCS twice. So that would be interesting. And then Team Spirit, the champions, obviously you want to, if you're Onic Indonesia, you want to get back at the eventual champions of the embassy after getting 3-0'd by them just a few days ago. So a lot of good and upcoming fights that we are about to see.
So it's going to be really interesting to see the final look at the bracket. On the other stream, we're already waiting for them to start as well for their last series of the day. Selangor Red Giants and Ruin Eaters in Group C is closing out the Group A to C stream, where, of course, our friends Gideon and LaFell are at. If you're just joining us now, as we've been mentioning, Onic and GK will be closing out the Group BD stream for today. I'm going to look back at the heroes. We talked about the Barretts, of course, having a huge impact. I feel like GK is in a really tough spot of whether or not, how are they, or let's look at it from one thing first. Are they going to try to force Kelra into the fighters? Or are they going to try to force them into marksman? Because it seems like wherever route you go, it's going to be really difficult to deal with Kelra in the gold lane, whether it's Paquito Freya or any of the other long string of marksman options that he has available for him.
I think if you're Geekay, you're better off forcing Kelra into marksman. Right now, Kelra has found a new kind of playstyle, playing the fighter gold laners, and he can be very aggressive with it. And if they keep on doing that, it will be good for their team. Look at this though, Redmar. Barrett's banned by Onic themselves.
Wow, that's a hell of a signal here for Onic. I think it's one of the things that teams like to do, is like they know that the team is looking at a certain pick, and then they just go, hey, you know what, let me ban it for you. Because that way you get to force out some things, and most likely GK were already eyeing out picking up the Barrett somehow one way or another. So you just get rid of that threat across the board.
Yeah. Okay, so this really opens up so much for the two teams, because we're seeing different banning patterns. The Marcel is open, so is the Hirara. But that also means that the Beleric now increases its priority between the two teams that we have, and also the Valentina. There is a smart play. If okay, so the Beleric being banned out, so you're thinking either Marcel or Hirara, right, for Geekay Esports. There is an argument that can be made for the Valentina, but instead it's going to be the Marcel. So are you going Valen Hirara if you're Onic?
Well, Onic has already shown that even up against the Marcel or other teams, you can still willingly play the Vexana. It's still gonna be fine. I mean, there's that funny interaction wherein you see the Eternal Guard come down, but the damage, that whole knockup thing, won't register up until the golden hour goes down. It's just this sudden surprise burst, so they don't even need to rush into it. They pick up the Valentina and the Herrera, that if ever GK want to block this Valentina away from Onic, it might actually end up hurting them in the long run.
For sure. You're not gonna pick that for sure. You're gonna consider either Nolan or Harley or even Guinevere.
Yes.
Immediate pick up on the Esmeralda. That's the decision now for UK Esports. Let's run it back. Let's play the EXP lane like we used to, like proper Mobile Legends players from before. Esmeralda versus Uranus. Eternal battle. Why not? They will go for the Eudora instead. Of course, that's the Quantum Special. Onic, how are they going to answer this? They do have an option to pick up the Valentina, but I feel like they will just go for the Marcel. I feel like, apart from that, there is some merit to pick up the Valentina here for Onic if they wish so.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It works a little bit better with and for their lineup instead of GK picking it up for themselves. So it's good to see that they didn't fall into the trap of picking it up. But remember, the Vexana is still an option. Even if you're not thinking about using it with countering something like glue, you don't have to worry about it popping up. But here it is, something that we saw with another team prioritizing Eudora and then losing on reach. They go ahead and pick up the Melissa.
Have I not seen this before? Of course I did. It will be the Hirara plus the Melissa and then the Uranus in there. Eventually, there will be another tanky hero that Keyboy will pick up without this Belleric. You are incentivized to go for maybe a Minotaur or maybe
Glue?
a glue? Well, probably. Is it? I think you will want to take away the glue from Geekay Esports because that could be an option for them, or maybe not anymore because they already have the Esmeralda as well as the Marcel.
Yeah.
But yeah. You probably won't ban it. You take it for yourself, and call me crazy, but I think Onic wants to last pick the Rafaela.
Ooh.
I think.
Just do it for the lulz. I mean, might as well give it a try, see how it goes. Melissa, Rafa, Melissa, Yura. And I can't remember. We don't see the map. We don't know actually what it is, whether or not we're going to clouds or whatnot. But good, safe to assume that if ever there is a Rafaela getting picked up for Onic, then we are in clouds.
Yep. Good combination. Rafaela and Flying Clouds. I'm thinking about like what are the options here for Keyboy? Do they even think about they probably want Matilda, right? Okay, so they go for the Jushin. Alright, pretty standard Onyx stuff. And Geekay immediately answers with the Nolan, one of the remaining options. Click banned out, which means what, you're gonna Brody perhaps or Granger.
Yeah.
Geekay Esports.
I think I prefer the Granger a little bit more, even though you're up against a wall in the Uranus. You could still find a way to weave it through and make it work. Boy, what's it gonna be? We post some possibilities in the Minotaur and what's the other one that we mentioned?
The glue.
The glue, yeah. So what's it gonna be, Onic? I mean, your suggestion also is. Oh wait, no, we aren't gonna see the Rafa anymore.
No, we can't. What else is a good system? Matilda mayhaps, but actually, the Matilda can work. Despite there being Esmeralda the opposite end, Matilda for Keyboy. Okay.
Ooh. Oh.
This is up against the Marcel.
Yep.
Could be a
I think the last time we saw this, it didn't work, was it? Like it was still difficult for Tigreal to actually work around with the presence of Marcel.
Yeah. Would be to wait for the golden hour to pop before you pop your ult. So it's going to be like a dance battle between two teams where they're gonna be waiting for whoever pops the ultimate first, and that guy will lose the team fight. Can't say that I am confident with it. However, the first 4 picks that we saw from the side of Onic Indonesia, it's pretty standard. It's pretty Onic coded, and it can easily work, I feel like. So we'll see. Both teams having a draft of their own. I'm still confident that Aquanok Eudora can bring a lot of mileage for Geekay Esports.
Xavier's gonna make some magic similar to what we saw in his previous series against Alpha 7 North. Final series of the day, game number 1. Both are qualified for the playoffs already, but you're looking at better placements. Burst straight into the mid. Sans and Keyboy getting sent back just a little bit with all this great damage and combo, of course, coming out from the Eudora. Fight for the first Little Wanderer, both heavily contesting it. Looks like it went to the side of GK, while Onic will minimize their losses.
Yeah, 4 heroes for Geekay Esports. I like that decision. Fast clear your lane, get to there as Aizen Now they will dip back into the fight, actually poking Tigreal down, forcing that flicker out. Great heads-up play coming out from Geekay Esports, but they did have to commit Quanok's flicker for that one. I feel like when it comes to value, of course, you would prefer to have your flicker on your Tigreal. The first team fight that will happen around the first turtle.
Gets the tough boots to the XP lane and the roam. There is a lot of crowd control to watch. Kelra, wow, he is just facing Yaga up front. And he's sidestepping him face up. And Yaga can't hit.
Look at that. He is fast clearing the wave. The models is a problem for Yaga, the Granger up top. And yeah, Kelra, I've seen him play the Melissa before and it's masterful with it. Now, Onic are gonna be the first one to dip their toes into the turtle. Is owning out Shen. Nolan is so far away. Onic identifies that. They blitz the turtle. And all of a sudden, Onic just clipped the wings of Geekay Esports.
Shen decides to pull back the golem, so it sets up for Bomba a little bit better. No, I mean. And Kyrie is forced to go back. Cannot heavily contest it unless Keyboy, Lutpi, and Sans get the info that they could get something really good. Lutpi will continue his annoyance of the Nolan. Meanwhile, the mid, Shen and Quanok. Stopped by Sans and Keyboy. Quanok having a hard time hitting level 4 as Sans is already just about to hit level 5. Here comes Kelra. They go for a mid play. See if they can find an opening there, but that's just a double lane coming in from the gold standard. They clear it up. Lutpi in the back. And this Uranus is just gonna keep being that kind of presence. Chino can't get to his orange buff.
Yeah. Onic invasion is too difficult to deal with now because of how fast they were moving. It seems like Geekay Esports are just unprepared for kind of relentless movements from Onic Indonesia. They're even including Sans and their Keyboy dashing in forward does not land. It's the golden hour catching two. Kyrie gets out. You can do that?
Did he iframe it?
He timed it perfectly though. He timed the iframe so that he will not get hit by the golden hour. As soon as he gets out of the iframe, he dashes out.
Dashes out of the golden hour. Ah.
Wow.
That makes sense. That's a learning. That's something new. Thanks for teaching us something new, Kyrie. All right, no wonder all these Hiraras are very confident with picking this up into the Marcel. You can't just avoid it, and add that to the long list of reasons as to why Hirara is busted. Want to continue the assault. Here comes Shen. No good than an hour for him just yet. Aizen trying to hold, but very systematically, Onic have just reduced the amount of farm that they can get in the jungle. I'm talking about Geekay Esports. Keyboy goes in with the implosion. The Sacred Hammer plus the implosion lands. Yaga caught in no man's land, and he's gonna get taken out. Looks like he flickered the wrong way. GK trying to find a win elsewhere besides getting Keyboy down. Lutpi is protecting Kelra, and that's a win for GK. Oh, excuse me, Onic.
Especially because of the Gold Rainer. They want to position for the turtle. That is the golden hour. Desperately used by Shen. And a wasted ultimate, in fact. Pokes coming out from the Nolan. Sans has to back out for now, but Kyrie is controlling the turtle, so is Keyboy. Lutpi already looking for Zeno, finds him. Shen might be in trouble because of this, no? Gets out Lutpi. Pretty safe as the Uranus. No threat from GK Esports. And Onic Indonesia are gonna be happy with trading Keyboy, eventually taking the turtle, and now getting back into farming.
This Uranus for Onic and Lutpi has been so good. Revisiting it and reconfirming it, but yes, if I recall correctly, it was an undefeated for the entire run of MSC. I believe the final standing of Lutpi and the Uranus was 8-0 or 9-0. That's how good he was with this hero.
That's right. Now, Quanok. Oh, flicker to the right. Avoids the entirety of Onic. In comes Shen. Golden hour catches two. Now Kyrie in trouble. Another iframe to dodge the thunder coming out from this Eudora. Gets out. Keyboy, Slipper of HE also getting out of there. Explosions coming out from Geekay. Onic survives, and Lutpi happy to soak all the damage in the world. for his teammates to also get out of there. And for some reason, he's also able to protect the purple buff. Geekay Esports and Onic, big tussle in the middle, but no one dies.
Great defense from Onic on all ends. After that golden hour, I was waiting to see where Yaga would be able to drop the damage. Meanwhile, the mid lane, Keyboy found a big flicker implosion. It looks like Quanok's gonna get taken out here, but Kyrie's holding on. He becomes a trade. It's the mid laner for the jungler, and it doesn't look good for Onic. They've lost Kyrie. GK have countered Keyboy's set really well. As I was saying earlier, Yaga actually had his his skills body blocked by Keyboy after the golden hour was dropped down by Shen. Topside now, GK trying to look for another win. Keyboy spots on Yaga and Shen, they back off.
A massive win taking out Kyrie. And are they able to push middle? It seems like there will be a defense. Esmeralda wants to go and take that. They will be able to push. Now up top, golden hour. Keyboy is low. But they will also be able to push because of this. Geekay Esports are playing so well. They even get the turtle on top of it all. 3 massive wins for Geekay Esports. Objectives that they were able to take. And now they are leading when it comes to the goal. Who would have thunk Geekay Esports can do this to Onic, especially with Onic securing all these heroes that they have. Oh my goodness.
All right, GK, we see you. We see you now. Great little movements, great calls. It's still very even, very, very close. But don't be so surprised if by the end of this game, it's GK that we're hyping up. That's going to be a sudden burst yet again. Here comes Quanok with his signature Eudora. Ludwig took a lot of damage. But of course, it is a Uranus. GK are not going to be able to take it down.
Nolan now able to slowly get the push again into the bottom lane. Onic seems like they've lost when it comes to their map movements. And Geekay just collects a lot of gold around the map. Maybe the trade-off is that Kyrie is pushing up top, but another pressure point coming up from Geekay Esports. Pop the golden hour onto Keyboy. Keyboy has to back out. Aizen is going to be controlled and he has to be careful. Has to purify. Gets out of there. Keyboy actually being exploded by Quanok. Didn't even look at the explosion out there. He just went out, flickered, and took out Keyboy. Quanok, the specialist.
He's still good with this Eudora. At this point, I think Onic really need to have an honest conversation about taking it away from him. He continues. It's up against some really tanky heroes too. Onic. Still, again, very close in the goal. They still have their win condition in the Melissa. Keller's been able to get farm. But with all of this reach and the surprise burst coming out, we talked about the difficulty of the Tigreal into the Marcel. I think the reason why we're seeing a lot more proactive movements where GK and Onic look kind of lost is that Tigreal is just definitely slower in the first step compared to the Marcel. Marcel gets around so much quicker and you have to be very deliberate with it. Speaking about Shen, golden hour forces out the Crimson Beacon. They get the burst down Lutby on this Uranus but aren't able to take him down. Meanwhile, back behind the Lord Pit, it seems like a member of GK was left. That's Aizen on the Esmeralda. Keyboy can't do much against him. It's advantage for GK heading into this Lord.
Look at this. The Nolan looking for an angle, looking for the opening. They found each other up top. And it seems like they're having a little bit of a duel out there. But Kyrie will be able to clear the lane up. Both of them, in fact. There's a duel. It's still ongoing. They're still going at it. The Nolan is slow. But in comes Shen to help him out. Keyboy as well. Roamers and junglers up top. A 2v2. And that was the most intense minimap casting I've ever did.
Here comes GK. Seeing if they can convert it. There are already 5 members of Onic around here. They left the Nolan up top to clear. They're trying to force a reaction out. Quanok again in a spot to see if he can get a pick off. They know the timers really well. I believe that GK have made the call that they know that the purple buff of Kyrie is about to spawn and that there is a minion wave up top. Here comes Shen with another conceal. Brings Quanok with him. They're going after Sands. Are they going to be able to get a big stun off? But Ludwig decides to go for the body block. Quick little freeze moment. They couldn't get to the juice in. Couldn't pop its Crimson Beacon. Here comes Boy from behind. Finds it. Beneath the golden hour, can Onic turn this fight around? The damage coming out of the Granger. GK has taken a lot of hits, but no member of Onic gets taken out as well. They send back Kyrie to clear his own purple buff. He will go up to orange. Geekay might actually get this, but it's Zeno who goes to his own purple buff. It's a long dance.
Long dance. Gotta watch out for Quanok now. Doesn't have the ultimate. Lutpi happy to take all of the damage coming out from members of GK. Kyrie slowly getting into the right side, but Aizen spots him out. They will now control the Lord. No ult for Shen for quite a while. So is Quanok has the ultimate. Shen onto the back lines. They want to control this. There's going to be the Purify actually for Shen. Shen far too forward, getting punished. And now Lutpi goes in forward with Kiba. Implosion with the flicker. There is going to be a kill onto the Granger. And now Onic about their opening angle. Quanok is down as well. There will be a trade for the Jushin, but now Zeno Bomba under the maniac of Kyrie. And of course, it was T-Boy who started it all so patiently, waiting for the most opportune moment to pop the flicker implosion, and he finds it.
This is T-Boy, the perfect timing. And Onic have broken the dam, open Pandora's box. They will get Lord number 1 after a very long dance between these two. A question for GK, what was Shen doing way too deep behind the lines of Onic and way too early? The other members of GK look like they were not ready to help him out.
Oh man. The battle of patience. Shen onto the back lines. The first one to break was GK Esports. Not gonna lie, that was pretty close. GK Esports played it so well up until the point where Shen was okay. Kyrie forcing the ultimate, pops the probably misses the Philippines because of that sticker, and was too much stun coming out from Kimoy once again. That results in a Quanok kill. Shen has to back out. Onic, oh my goodness, they're playing with the minds of GK Esports.
Kimoy again. They baited it out. An entry with the Falling Star Moon coming in from Aizen, but now he's stuck because the other members of GK are distracted by Sans of the Crimson Beacon. Kyrie goes in and gets that kill. A monster kill for him. He has hella stacks on the Sky Piercer after the maniac that he got. Shen decides to go forward. Yaga trying to hit from afar, but he has to focus on the minion waves here while Onic decides to focus on it. And they're not going to be able to take it down just yet. They still have minion waves coming in. They have the mana advantage due to the damage of Kelra going forward towards Zeno Bomba. The entry by Shen. Just a couple of freezing moments, but not a big set. Doesn't have the golden hour just yet, waiting for it. Full combo from the Eudora. Not going to be able to get a kill. Onic are still relentless, so they want to go for the end. They have the minion waves. They can go ahead and lock, but they want to respect. They push back the members of GK and have taken game number 1.
As good as Quanok is, as good as Shen was, as good as the entirety of GK from yesterday and up until now, Onic Indonesia has got their number. There's no more golden hour that they can jump in. With the implosion, they were able to find it. Gotta keep your head high now if you are GK Sports, because with all due fairness, that was such a good game for them. They just crumbled in the end. And if they just keep their wits at bay, they can actually recover against Onic Esports.
For anyone who watch GK Esports during MSC 2026, you have to admit this is a huge leap from what we saw from them in that tournament. Let me remind you, they almost were the team that eliminated Selangor Red Giants in the lower bracket quarterfinals in Group B. It had to go into 3 games. It had to go for SRG bringing out their second string jungler just so that they could make it into the next phase, of course, before getting eliminated by Onic. These are the champions of MPL MENA in GK. Do not turn off the possibility that they might still be able to force game number 3, because we were both so impressed with how they were handling it. It just really took one moment. And you mentioned it as well from the beginning of the draft. We talk about it in the form of ultimates, whoever uses their ultimate first, but then it became of the story of which roamer gets a little bit too overzealous and triggers their initiation a little bit too early. And in the key moment, it was Shen on the Marcel.
See, Kara just, it's so funny to watch Kara just really literally focus on the base. And then it actually prompted a lot of reactions from GK Esports. And all of a sudden, you can see Quanok here already ramping up. It feels like Onic is kind of prepared for this one. They're kind of expecting it, in fact. Look this, Kyrie dodges the ultimate, even Suns as well. They knew that it is going to happen. They knew that eventually Quanok will be tempted into popping the ultimate. They dodge it and they win the fight afterwards, win the game afterwards, I mean. And GK Esports almost took down Onic had it not been for Keyboy's heroics. And of course, Kyrie just outplaying everyone with the Hirara.
It's been a trend for Hirara games for Kyrie and Onic that it could be very level, very steady, and then just when they find that moment, you get multiple kills on the Kyrie. A double, a triple, maybe even a maniac. I feel like we've seen it a lot more, definitely. And again, it's the understanding of Onic and their timings and their power spikes and the importance of patience. I know this is the meta of just like snowball, go, go, go. But sometimes if it doesn't, you don't get that clear opportunity to get that snowball starting. Sometimes you just have to play it patiently and go back to just a few months ago of waiting for that major power spike or major turnaround point in Lord 1. And that's what we saw from Onic here.
Yeah. Still, when it comes to the draft choices for both teams, I think they're pretty solid. I honestly believe that GK Esports have found what they wanted to have. And for Onic Indonesia, that last pick, Tigreal, I think it's more of a comfort pick than it is an actual good pick in that game. I still stand by what I said. It's difficult to play the Tigreal in the presence of the Marcel. And you see how much hard work Keyboy had to do, how much patience he had to muster just to make sure that he will land the game-winning play. He did, however, find it. It looked really good. It looked amazing. It looked cool. But it was difficult, and I don't think that it's something that Keyboy would want to do day in and day out.
Yeah,
Because it's I can feel how stressful it was.
yeah, it was he had to be a little bit too patient for that. Although he is known for making some very perfect timing take real plays. When we get back, we'll see the culmination or the continuation, whether or not Onic will sweep it here, or we'll get to see GK force a game number 3 after this break.